not ready for that. You weren't ready for that. Like up here with this guy, like he won't let me get the arm triangle, and I'll slide down here. Hard. Bro, I got no body fat right now. He was all in my ribs. And it hurt. He just tickles your lung. I'm not even ticklish. That was like in my ribs. And I'll be like, and he'll be like, he'll go this way, and then when he comes back, it resets the choke. And I'm like, yes. Yeah.
We're like that, and that's.
He's like, nah.
Right under that armpit. Right in the armpit. Right where there's no fat. It doesn't matter.
It's a weapon that instantly cauterize the wounds of their enemies, and they would not get any blood on themselves nor the blade.
Right.
Save them.
Yeah, because
What if in doing so, not every wound was then a mortal wound, and then their victim or opponent learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, could be. But why would you pull out a lightsaber for any other reason than to take somebody's limb or life?
Well, yeah, the limb, then it was cauterized, and then you had to walk around and tell the story about, like, hey, I ran into a Jedi. And then Nubby over there would be like, oh, you too?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say
Well, I don't really feel that way. I'm just saying when you think about it, there's a lot of things that would point toward the fact that, like, they're not the hardest of the hard.
They're thugs.
But like that,
Yeah.
the romanticized anime version of the samurai, that's badass.
Down too low, get caught from a standing position. You cause a scene at your local bar. This is the one and only thing that most bouncers can do. All right, it's a standing guillotine. They don't even call it a standing guillotine because they don't really know how to do anything. But I mean, not everything's like Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
The standing guillotine is something that you can get caught in from a layperson position. A layperson can get you in a front headlock. Okay, it's not hard. We're gonna go over some defenses to that, if that's okay with y'all. All right. So, let's see. Come here, Shane. All right. So, obviously, you know, a standing guillotine position is something that. How many of y'all have ever been caught in one? Okay. All right. So you see, it's fairly common. All right. Standing guillotine here. This. When I'm here like this, what are some of the things that Shane can do? Let's say from like a striking aspect. What are some of the things that? Oh, look at that. Okay. So his knees, my body is exposed to these knees. If I'm even lower, you know, and he was more flexible, he can come up to the head, right? So with that being said, where you put your frame, to me, is going to be pretty important, okay? I'm not just going to put it on the hip, so you can get away with that, but the knee can still be kind of freed up from this position, okay? So I'm actually going to aim for the mid-thigh on the hip, all right? The other arm is going to come across, and I'm going to reach as far down his back as possible. All right, so we're here like this, we're sitting there, and he hooks this position here, okay? From a self-defense standpoint, I'm blocking the leg immediately, okay? The next step is I'm reaching over as far down his back as possible. Now here's the thing, I'm not just doing this and reaching as far as possible. This motion, this pressure is continuous. Okay, so as he tries to push up with the choke, this arm has to come all the way down. At this point, I'm going to step to the side. Okay, so we're here, here. All right, you can grab the material here to get a little bit more of a bite if you need to. They might not be wearing the material, so it doesn't matter. Step here, and then I'm going to collapse the knee. At this point, the choke's not really my concern anymore. You understand? Okay. Here he puts the pressure on me. I'm here and here. At this point, look, I'm here and I'm collapsing the knee. Do you see what my knee's doing to his knee? And it takes you off base. You ever seen anybody deadlift anything like that? Bench press anything like that? Okay. Their frame is crooked, my frame's not. Okay. So whereas at the start of this, Shane was a 10 in strength and I was a 7. Okay. A 10's always going to beat a 7, right? Doing like Madden ratings type of analogies here. Okay. All right. But at this point here, all right, I'm still a 7. All right, but I've broken him down to a 4 or a 5. You understand? One movement.
Roadhouse.
Look, this is where I want you to do the guillotine choke, okay, right here. All right, we're made to do jujutsu. Just let you know. All right. See how nice that fits? That's like Cinderella's like glass slipper right there, okay? Except with chokes. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Decent. Look, one thing I learned is if you don't ask, you will never know. Okay. So if it's something, and don't be embarrassed to ask. Look, I was a purple belt and I didn't know the correct escape for the Americana, and that's something you're supposed to learn as a white belt. And maybe I did learn it, but it's just slipped my mind, and I just didn't know at the time. And I felt embarrassed to ask my instructor. Like, he was like, "Yeah, we're showing the move," and he got me in Americana. He said, "That, yeah, now we'll work the escape." And I was like, the pressure of everybody's watching me. I was like, I don't know the escape. And the dog ate my homework. Okay, all right. So look, if you don't know, the worst thing you can do is not know, right? So you want to ask a question because this is the time to do it. When you're getting tapped out in a roll, might not be the wrong time to do it.
Using that against me. All right. Since he's going to use that against me, now he separated my arm from his body, but he doesn't want to match strength. Okay. So he's going to get his legs involved. When he gets his legs involved, he spreads my body out. Here. Continue breaking posture with this leg. Otherwise, I'm going to do that. Catch me. There you go. Now I can't do that. Now I'm at his mercy. All right. If he's a nice guy, he'll like, "Do you yield?" And I'll be like, "Break it." And then he'll be like,
Do you yield? Yield for now. Only for now.
and then he'll look over at Moon. Moon will be like, "Yeah, go ahead, man."
Am I still in fight camp? We're in fight camp. I'm not in fight camp right now. So everything like a nail when you're a hammer, right?
And at the high level, we're trying to set those up with whatever game that we're putting in. You know, stringing you along, setting these traps or whatever. When you're not sure what your opponent's doing, 9 times out of 10, you're just going back to your basics, and you're going to be able to shut it down. You're going to be able to not. You're not playing their game now. You're doing jujutsu, and I feel like the guys that have the longevity are the ones that take the basics and shove it down your throat. Yeah. And it's like, this is what they're going to do. They're going to keep moving forward. They're going to keep going to take you down. If they're in the bottom position, they've got to go, sweep, submit, stand up, and stall. Whatever the problem that's presented to me, there's going to be a multitude of ways to solve that problem, and everybody presents different problems. And so if you're just doing one thing or one set of moves, you're not gonna be successful with it.
Don't know self-defense, you're probably gonna end up in mount or like half guard out there in the street. In here, as much stuff as we learn, there are like all kind of variations of guards and everything like that. What's the most common position we end up in? Half guard. Yeah. Because you can get one leg intertangled in somebody else's leg, and like most of the classes, that's why I feel like positional drills are so important. Because you can work this guard stuff, and then as soon as we slap bump and we start from a neutral position, you might not even ever get to guard. Like, you might get to half guard of this, that, and scrambles and all this other stuff. But until you like get to like blue belt and beyond, you don't really like get a lot of times in singular position.
Talking about this before class, when you think about the guys who have the most longevity in jiu-jitsu, it's guys that take care of their spine.
Yeah.
The guys that have a game that where their spine is aligned up, and whether it's stand up, whether it's on the ground, top position, bottom position, they're always trying to get their spine straight and attack you square. I don't know if you know my bent bicycle frame analogy, but my dad run over my bicycle. When I was little, refused to buy me a new one. It was bent, had to put it on cinder blocks and beat it with a hammer. Never could straighten it back out. You ever tried to ride a bicycle with a bent frame? You just go in circles and fall over. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to do to somebody when I'm in the top position. It's everything I'm trying to do is trying to twist their spine, because I know that's going to make them weak, and then I don't have to use as much energy. Just dropping dimes.